Good morning, afternoon, evening, or whatever time it is when you watch this video. Today, we're going to be expanding a little bit on my automotive section of my channel, and we're going to do a full detail of our 2017 Jetta. Right now it's got a flat tire. I gotta go have a new tire put on it, and unfortunately, it ran on a flat way too long and tore up the sidewall here. These tires are damn near brand new. And they got about that much tread left on them, so it's going to be a shame to have to replace this tire. But the whole problem is the valve stem is leaking like crazy. It's been leaking since a couple months after I got it, but it just started doing it really bad. And I was going on a little trip, and when I got there, I realized it was really flat. But anyway, it's been a while since I've done a good detail on this car here, so it's going to be kind of fun. I'm going to get in there and detail all the little pieces and get this engine compartment looking brand new again. So stick with me through it, and you'll see a big transformation. Show you guys the inside of the car. The inside of the car is in pretty good shape. We take care of our vehicles, so when I say it needs a good detail, it's not too bad. Of course, the floor, I work out on dirt roads, so when I take this car to work, I do track some dirt into it. So, but that's about it. Just dust and everything. The engine compartment's probably the worst. Would help to unlock the doors here. And as you can see, the back seats are almost untouched with a little bit of dust here and there. We'll go ahead and make it look brand new again. Ouch. And after I use my truck to go out to the range today, probably after work within the next few days, I'm going to go ahead and do a detail of the engine compartment of the truck as well. Okay, here I go. I'm going to get started. I'm going to set up the tripod, and I'm going to hopefully allow you guys to watch the entire process. Be right back. Here are just a few things that I'm going to be using today. Pipe cleaners are great for getting down around hoses and little things because you can bend them and shape them. I have a little agitating brush for larger areas, and I have my daily use toothbrush here. I use this every day to brush my teeth, as I've said before, so I gotta make sure that that's cleaned up every time I get done. But I have a spray ball. It's a recycled one. It's got just a little bit of soapy water in it to clean the dust off. I would normally use a degreaser to clean engines, but this is a brand new car. It does not have any leaks or anything, so it's just dust. And here are my big stack of rags. They are freshly cleaned and washed, but they're just a little stained from doing some work. I got all these tools at Harbor Freight, and I think all of those cost me maybe $5. Not bad at all. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and get set up over here. Okay, this is my my battery insulator here. I'm not going to mess with this too much. I'm not going to spray anything on it because it really doesn't need to be. Okay. I'll first scrub my air hose and blow out the obvious stuff that doesn't need scrubbed out. When you're blowing out the engine compartment, go in all different types of angles, because some angles won't blow away dust, other angles will. Now I'm going to move to this brush to start getting down in the middle of everything. Just to the use of this tool is just to get in the middle of all the little nooks and crannies that the other brushes could not get. I don't see the sense in spraying a bunch of water on the areas to clean them when simply brushing will dislodge the dust. And then you take your air sprayer here and spray off that dust. Okay, so now the engine compartment looks completely different. Of course, if I was to work on a little more, I could reach deeper down inside there, and some areas like that are still dirty. But the most parts of the engine compartment are all clean, free of dust, and looking absolutely wonderful. Back to a brand new car engine compartment. I'm pretty proud of how it turned out. I got all the dirt and grime off of the caps and down in here and down in there. There's a little bit in there, but I could get it if I worked on it. And I really paid attention to all the hoses. That's where a lot of the dust starts building up, concentrated down inside on the valve cover and the air tubes. The exhaust plate right there, that gets pretty dirty. And that shiny plate back there, that heat shield there, that was dingy, but now it looks all bright and crisp and ready to go another few miles. Oh, there's a little hose back there that I did not touch. So like I said, if I continue to look around, I could find a lot more that I missed. But after all, this is a lease, and I'll be turning it in a year, so it doesn't really matter to me. Okay, well, this concludes the engine compartment detail. I'm going to clean the hood a little bit before I'm done, and then I'm going to move on to the interior. Should be a fun video. Be right back. Okay, now we're going to detail out the inside of the car. This shouldn't take long. The car is in pretty good shape. I'm going to start by removing the floor mats so that we can vacuum out from underneath it and scrub those a little more intensely outside the car. I have a crevice tool that I can use to reach to get all the stuff down inside. I've cleaned out all the small debris out of all the little cup holders and nooks and crannies. Make it a little easier for us to vacuum. We're going to get started. I'm going to set up the tripod in the back seat. Okay, we're just taking out the floor mats. The little pins that snap out. I just use a little pin or screwdriver to pop them out. Okay, as you could see, I was using this brush for the vents, and I'm impressed with how much easier it was to clean these vents with a brush like this. It's a stiff but soft bristle, so you don't have to worry about scratching up anything. But it made cleaning the stick shift boot area really easy to do. It's the same thing with the emergency brake. It was very easy to clean all the little dials and buttons and everything. So I'm just going to continue on with this brush until we're all ready for the final detail up front here. The floors and stuff came out pretty decently. I'm going to go ahead, because I've been stepping in here, I'm going to go ahead and re-vacuum before I put the floor mats back in. But for the most part, this brush here was fantastic for brushing out all these dials, and I had the vacuum hose right underneath it so it could catch most of it so it doesn't resettle somewhere else. I used it to sweep out the boot, and it looks absolutely beautifully clean. No complaints out of there. And as you can see, my floorboards don't get that bad. That's just rock and stuff from work, and of course outside my house there it's all rock and dirt, so that gets tracked into here as well. So I wanted to show you what I'm doing with the seats. You see how that seat has a bunch of crumbs down inside the fake leather? Well, if you push this aside here like this and brush it out, the vacuum will suck it all up. The driver's side was just like that, and with a little bit of work I was able to clean that out, and that looks pretty decent right now. It did look just like that. You know, your car tends to get a little dirty, and if you just take care of it, your car will definitely take care of you. So I'm going to set the tripod back up. I will say though, one thing I try not to do is get Armor All on the steering wheel, because the last thing you want is your steering wheel being slippery, and that goes with the brake and gas pedal as well. I do not put any Armor All on them because of that reason. I don't want my foot to slip off the brake because I wanted my brake pedal to look shiny. So the steering wheel and the pedals, I avoid it. Back to that.
He always misses when he's aiming at the target in his head. And every broken man finds his idle hands grasping at tomorrow's promised land. And I've been thinking about running, and I'll get out on the town just for myself. And that's when I saw her, and she looked right through me. And when I said I do that day, I really do. 'Cause every cowboy, he always misses his shot when he's aiming at the target in his head. And every broken man finds his idle hands grasping at tomorrow's promised land. And I've been
Okay, we're going to give it a quick vacuum over everything. Okay, and as you can pretty much see, we're all vacuumed, we're all shined up, everything is detailed inside. There's no more dust laying around in all the cracks. The door jambs are still dusty, but I will clean those up after I wash the car, because water always gets in there and gets a little moist. So you see those specks right there? Those are the specks I was talking about. If you don't wipe it down enough, those specks there will remain, and it will be irritating for you. So I'm going to go ahead and grab my rag, clean those up. Okay, you can only really see it in light like this. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and wipe this down. Hopefully this will get it off there. And that's just because when I sprayed it elsewhere, a little bit of overspray got onto it. Okay, hopefully this will take care of it. There we go, hopefully. I chose to grab this cleaner dryer towel here to give everything a good wipe down so that we don't have any imperfections in the detail. Of course, this is my own car. I'm not doing this for money or anything. I'm just doing it for my own. Okay, there we go. Everything looks much better now. As you can see, all those spots are gone now. And just a little bit down here. Okay, I am ready to... Normally I would start at the very top of the car and let everything drip and pour over the rest of the car. But when my car is plastered in bug juice, I like to start up at the front, soap it up really good, let it set, and then move to the top, because then by the time I get back to this, all the bug guts and stuff are really soft and they come off a lot easier than having to sit there and scrub at it. Okay, I usually set it on shower because it's real gentle on the paint. For other areas, I'll go to a full stream just for that power washing strength. Okay, now we're going to start on scrubbing the front half down, and then we'll start on the top. Has ever ran a little warm on a really hot day? You might want to check in front of your radiator, because I get a lot of butterflies and bees and other types of insects get caught up in my AC core here. That's what I would use a stronger strength on my hose, and I can pretty much spray all of it out and get it cleaned up. And it's very important because the more stuff you have on your grill, leaves, bugs, grass, whatever blows up in there, that's going to block airflow to your radiator, which will make your engine run a little warmer, and none of us want that. Okay, for drying, I normally dry really quick, because with our hard water, if you let the water set, the deposits that the hard water leaves will make your car look filthy. Plus, it's not good for the paint. Okay, for the most part, we've got it all cleaned up top to bottom. So all we have left to do is clean the exterior windows and the wheels, or interior windows, that is. She looks nice and sharp all the way around. So what I'll do now is I'll open up the hood again. The reason for opening up the hood again is because we're going to have Alright, the reason for opening the hood again is because we're going to have water up underneath here that we want to get all cleaned up so it's not dripping. And of course we got water down in the little troughs and everything that water is supposed to flow when the car gets wet. Go ahead and wipe that all down in here. Get all this cleaned up here. So now that the inside and outside are clean, this car is looking really good right now. Okay, so now we can pretty much close up the hood because we are done. So basically, to get the tires clean, this tire is the one that's going to be replaced, so I'm not too worried about cleaning it up. But I'll just take the rag and wash in the middle of all these areas here. And then I'll get my hose and I'll spray it off. And while I'm here, I take the full strength and because I am very detail oriented, I'll take my rag and give this a quick wipe down. This is the splash shield. Now I'll take my towel, of course, re-dry the surrounding area, and it is always a good idea to dry these out too, because the hard water stains will definitely show up. Now it's just a matter of finish drying. I'm going to go ahead and do that to all 4 tires, and I'll be right back for the finishing touches. Okay, now I got every tire detailed out. Everything's looking really nice now. So now what I want to go do, I'm going to open up these door jambs, and with some Armor All on my rag, I'm going to wipe down all the seals inside and out. Make sure that everything is dry. Some water can get in here, just like this water here. And dry that all up. Make sure that the door jamb areas are all wiped down, because you know they call it detail for a reason, because you're going to pay attention to all the details, all the water that drips back in and everything. Some people will clean the interior separately, you know, like they'll wash the outside and then deal with the interior. But I I like to do the interior first, because then that way there the vacuum's not blowing dust all over the car and, you know, everything that you've worked hard to clean. So sure, all this is done. Something a lot of people forget about is down in here on the side of the door panel here. This is very important to get dry because it will cause water droplets easily. Okay, it was that quick and easy to get her done. Okay, for the cleaning of the floor mats, I like to spray my Armor All over the entire thing here, and then with a brush, I like to go Okay, sorry about that last little bit cutting off. I ran out of space on my camera, so I had to switch SD cards. But anyway, my Jetta is fully detailed. It took me approximately 2.5, 3 hours to do. A car that was in really bad shape, you're talking 5 or 6 hours. But let me give you a little pass through here. Everything